So as I get closer to my exit date, which is an odd way of saying it, we've been taking a look back at my time on the show today. I'd like to introduce you to the man that helped me get my start in this business. Please welcome the original founder of G4TV, a partner of mine at the Live Nerd Carnival that is Lead Up, and president of the upcoming channel Access. Dr. Charles Hirschhorn is here, everybody.
Oh, thank you.
How are you, good sir?
It's great. It's great to be back.
It's great,
so
great to have you back.
Good to see you.
So let's talk about the inspiration to create G4. When did this strike you?
I think, it was a confluence of two observations. One was I was running animation at Disney, television animation, and I was noticing that we spend all this time to create animation, and yet video games, and that was theatrical animation, yet video game companies were creating software that could render animation instantaneously.
Right.
And so I thought, wow, that's, what the video games are doing with creating animation is so much more efficient than what we're doing with Pixar or other animation vendors. So that was going on in my mind. And then I went to E3 and just watched people line up to watch video games being played. Not to play them, but to just watch it being played.
And do awkward hover hand photos with booth babes.
Yeah, exactly.
So you thought, how do I get in with these hotties?
I can do that.
Let me create a network for them. So how does it go from that idea to the switch is flipped and suddenly there's a week of Pong on television followed by a lineup of gaming programming?
The idea was obviously to go very deep with that demographic. To really care about video games and care about that media and that technology and be authentic about it and find people like you and other people who really came from that world, which nobody from television was pulling from that world.
Right.
And Pong was the right way to start because it was sort of tipped our hat to the legacy of video games and go from there. But you're right, it was 24/7 original programming, all seated somewhere in video games.
And I still don't quite know. What does G4 stand for? What is that? I'm sure it's in the corner of the screen.
Well, here's
now.
the truth.
Like,
here's
what
the
is
truth. This is the truth, and I've never said the truth publicly before. So here's the truth. I was in my bedroom, and my wife was in the den, and I had this idea for a channel, and I just sort of screamed to my wife, Cynthia. I said, I need a name for this channel. Just go online and buy a URL. And she said, great. And I said, anything video game channel works. Just find anything.
Sure.
And they were all taken. And she said, well, you can pay a premium. I said, no, I won't pay a premium. Just
Again, rooted in frugality.
So just, get it. At that time it was $35, but, get a $35 one.
Right.
And she said, oh, video games, it's all gone. I said, well, just start with V or G or something. Find something. And she said, all right. She said, G4 is available. I said, buy that one. It's true. So anyway,
it's an airplane, and it was an Apple computer at the time.
So she buys G4. I don't know that it was an airplane at the time. I mean, it might have been like when it was a G3. I don't know if there was a G4
Okay,
yet.
so you were trying to corner the market. Got it.
So she buys it. Then, this was a kind of a harebrained idea. Then, lo and behold, you have a channel, and then you have to backfill. You have to explain, like, oh, it's the 4th generation of gaming.
I heard that one. I heard that one.
Games and geeks and
I heard gear, gadgets,
that kind
games,
of stuff.
girls.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, the title has, it's rooted in no reality whatsoever, which might work, right? That might be the right title for it.
Let's get to the nuts and bolts of this, because I know some people are watching this and they just simply know you as the guy who murdered Tech TV, and they don't know that there was. I remember this meeting very well. It was you and a bunch of executives, and I came in there. You were riding on the shoulders of a minotaur, and you had a severed head that was still splurting blood from its neck hole, and you had a spiked mace in the other hand, and you said, we're just gonna murder him, and that's what happened, right?
I still have that spiked mace.
You hold on to the memories.
This is a great opportunity for me to come clean about G4's name and to apologize about Tech TV. The challenge of launching a linear cable television station is you need to find distribution, and we And you need to find, ultimately, a minimum of 40 million homes.
40 million because that's when advertisers pay
Exactly,
attention in a major way, right?
And then you're considered a national service. That's the minimum size for national service.
So we were at 15. We needed to get to 40.
So we're at 15. We have knocked on everyone's door. And basically, all the doors that are going to open have opened, and we're at 15. And all the other doors are closed. You know, the writing's on the wall. The service will not be sustainable at that level. And you have to find a way to get over that hurdle, to get to the other side of 40 million homes. And an acquisition, Tech TV was the perfect, for many reasons, many reasons. It was the perfect acquisition. So that was smart. I mean, that was smart in terms of creating G4 and creating this channel and appealing to this audience. And Tech TV had its own issues, and we had distribution that could help them. And so that was smart, and that aggregated 50 to 60 million homes. So it was the right deal for both parties.
So overnight, you saved one network, you grew 2 networks.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the smart business decision.
So I don't apologize for that. That was the right thing to do.
What happened? Where's the apology?
The apology is for, you know, Comcast had acquired AT&T and had merged the 2 cable systems together, and it was a big public merger. And I spoke to the guy who handled the merger, and his advice to me was do it as quickly as possible. That you know, it's painful, but make it short.
Sure.
So, and that was the mistake, which, you know, you can do that as a cable operator, and your bill has a different name on it, and as a cable, and paying your bill, you don't care that much. As a viewer with some loyalty to programming and hosts and content, you know, it was essentially like ripping off the Band-Aid before the wound had healed. So, I mean, it was just painful and wrong, and we should have taken our time, and we should have really spent more time sort of melding the 2 audiences and melding the programming together and the image of the network, and we just did it all too fast.
I was the face of that change for a lot of people.
Right.
So even to this day, when I Google myself, which I do nightly, I still see a landslide of that stuff. Clearly, I was the face of that change as well, and I think it's really great of you to say that, because I think that kind of puts it at ease for a lot of people. Thank you so much for coming here. Like, just not only for showing up, but for building the place. That was very kind of you to keep us all gainfully employed for many, many years. Listen, really, you're an inspiration. Very wise man. It's a pleasure to always chat with you. Charles Hirschhorn, everybody!